At 70, if you can still do these 6 things, you're not just winning at life, you're thriving. But let me ask you this, what does winning even mean at this age? It's not about medals, promotions, or what's parked in your driveway. No, winning at 70 is about something much deeper, something that truly defines the quality of your life. Imagine this. You wake up, climb a flight of stairs without feeling breathless, and later you laugh so hard with a friend that your sides hurt. Sounds simple, right? But what if I told you these little moments are powerful signs that you're defying the odds? Some doctors call them indicators of longevity. Others? They call it a miracle. Stay with me, because what you'll discover next might just change the way you see growing older forever. So, what's the first sign you're winning at life at 70? It's simple. If you can climb a flight of stairs without gasping for air, you're ahead of the game. Think about it. Stairs are everywhere. In your house, at your favorite park, even when you visit friends. They seem ordinary, but they're actually a hidden fitness test. Studies have shown that by the time we reach 70, our aerobic capacity may have dropped by nearly 40%. That's a big number. Yet, climbing stairs tests your heart, lungs, and muscles all at once. It's like your personal trainer disguised as a staircase. Let's make it real. Imagine you're visiting an old friend who lives in a 3rd-floor apartment. You step into the building and, oh no, the elevator's broken. What do? Do you sit in the lobby and wait, hoping the repairman shows up soon? Or do you confidently climb those steps, even throwing in a joke about how you're getting your cardio for the day? If you can tackle those stairs without feeling like you just ran a marathon, that's not just luck. It's a major victory. Not everyone at 70 can do it. In fact, a European study found that older adults who could climb 3 flights of stairs in under 90 seconds had significantly lower risks of heart problems. Who knew stairs could predict the future? So, next time you see a staircase, don't groan. Take it as a challenge. Maybe even skip the elevator on purpose. Every step is a little victory, a reminder that your body is still capable and your spirit is still strong. And speaking of strength, wait until you hear about the next skill that proves you're truly winning at life. It's something even younger folks struggle with. If climbing stairs is a sign of physical strength, the next one is all about mental sharpness. If you can remember what you had for lunch yesterday, you're already winning a battle that many people start to lose after 65. You might be thinking, come on, who pays attention to every meal? But remembering those small details isn't about food, it's about keeping your mind engaged and sharp. Cognitive decline is a real concern as we age. According to the Alzheimer's Association, about 1 in 9 adults over 65 experiences some form of memory impairment. That's a big enough number to make you pause. But here's the good news. If you can easily recall that tuna sandwich you had with a side of chips, or even better, remember the dessert, you're giving your brain a workout. Memory is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it stays. Let's paint a picture. You're at a family dinner and your grandchild says, "Grandma, what did you eat yesterday?" Without hesitation, you smile and respond, "I had a big salad with grilled chicken and an apple pie that was just heavenly." That simple answer is more than a conversation. It's a sign that your brain is firing on all cylinders. And there's more to it. Studies show that regular mental engagement, whether it's reading, solving puzzles, or chatting with friends, helps keep your memory sharp. Add brain-boosting foods like berries, nuts, and leafy greens, and you're giving yourself an even bigger advantage. Here's a question. Do you remember what you had for lunch yesterday? What about the conversation you had during the meal? If you can recall those details, you're doing more than just remembering. You're proving that your mind is still strong and ready for new experiences. And while we're talking about balance in life, how about literal balance? Let's see how you stack up in our next test. It's fun, it's surprising, and it could be one of the biggest indicators of your longevity. Can you stand on one leg for 10 seconds without tipping over? Let's find out why this simple act might be more important than you ever imagined. Now, let's talk about something that sounds ridiculously easy, standing on one leg for 10 seconds. You might be thinking, seriously? That's a test. But believe it or not, this little challenge can reveal a lot about your overall health and longevity. Picture this. You're standing in your living room, someone says, "Hey, can you balance on one leg for 10 seconds? You lift one foot off the ground and, how steady are you? Sounds like child's play, right? But science tells us a different story. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that people in their 70s who could balance on one leg for 10 seconds were 50% less likely to experience serious health complications in the coming years. That's 50%, a number you can't ignore. But why is balance so important? It's not just about looking graceful at yoga class. Balance combines strength, coordination, and focus. When you stand on one leg, your body engages muscles in your legs, core, and back to keep you steady. Meanwhile, your brain sends rapid-fire signals to keep everything in sync. Now, imagine you're out for a walk in the park and you see someone in their 70s effortlessly balancing on one leg. Maybe they're doing it to stretch, or maybe they're just showing off a little. Either way, it's impressive. That kind of physical control is a sign that they're in tune with their body, reducing their risk of falls and injuries. Falls are no joke as we age. They're one of the leading causes of serious injuries for older adults. But if you can keep your balance, you're cutting that risk dramatically. So, the next time you're standing in line at the grocery store or brushing your teeth, lift one foot and test yourself. Can you make it to 10 seconds? If you can, that's a little victory worth celebrating. And here's a fun thought. Why not challenge your friends or family to do it with you? It might lead to a lot of laughs, and we'll talk about why that's just as important in a moment. Speaking of laughs, let's move on to something truly priceless: the ability to find joy and humor in life. It's not just about being cheerful, it's a sign of emotional strength and resilience. You're still cracking jokes or belly laughing at your favorite sitcom, you're winning on a whole new level. But why is laughter such a game changer for your health? Stay with me, you won't want to miss this one. Now let's talk about something that money can't buy: laughter. You know the kind I'm talking about, the deep, belly-shaking laugh that makes your eyes water and leaves you gasping for air. If you can still laugh like that at 70, you're doing more than just enjoying the moment, you're proving that your emotional resilience is still alive and well. Laughter isn't just a reaction to something funny. It's one of life's most powerful tools for healing and staying strong. According to research from Stanford University, laughter reduces stress hormones, boosts your immune system, and even improves pain tolerance. Yes, you heard that right. A good laugh can literally make you stronger. Think back to the last time you laughed so hard your sides hurt. Maybe it was a silly story from an old friend or something your grandchild did that had you in stitches. In those moments, the world feels lighter, and suddenly whatever worries you had seem a little less important. But here's where it gets really interesting. Laughter isn't just about joy, it's a sign of emotional strength. Life at 70 can throw you its fair share of curveballs. Health scares, the loss of loved ones, or even just the feeling that the world is moving too fast can weigh you down. But those who can still find humor in life's quirks have an incredible advantage. They've learned how to roll with the punches, bounce back, and keep moving forward. I had an elderly friend who was a master at this. No matter what life threw her way, she always found a way to laugh at it. She'd tell stories about her youth with such animated humor that you couldn't help but laugh along with her. She wasn't just telling a joke, she was reminding us all that life is unpredictable, and sometimes the best thing you can do is laugh at the absurdity of it all. So, if you're still chuckling at your favorite sitcom, cracking jokes with friends, or laughing at your own mistakes, you're not just having fun, you're reinforcing your emotional core. You're showing the world that you're adaptable, strong, and ready for whatever comes next. But what's even more powerful than laughter? Connection. Let's talk about how nurturing relationships, old or new, can be a secret weapon in living a longer, healthier life. And trust me, this one might surprise you. If laughter keeps your spirit strong, connection keeps your heart full. At 70, one of the biggest signs that you're winning at life is your ability to maintain friendships and build new ones. It might sound simple, but trust me, it's a powerful indicator of health and longevity. Here's the truth. Loneliness is more dangerous than most people realize. According to the National Institute on Aging, nearly 30% of adults over 70 experience significant loneliness. It creeps in slowly, especially when loved ones move away or life changes leave you feeling disconnected. And this loneliness can take a toll, not just emotionally but physically. Studies show that prolonged social isolation is linked to higher risks of heart disease, depression, and even a shorter lifespan. But here's the silver lining. If you're still making the effort to nurture old friendships or reach out to new people, you're already ahead of the game. Social connection is one of the strongest predictors of a long and happy life. Take the people of Okinawa, Japan, for example, a region famous for its centenarians. One of their secrets? Moai, a close-knit group of lifelong friends who provide emotional and social support for each other. They laugh together, share meals, and lean on one another through the ups and downs of life. It's this sense of belonging that keeps them healthy well into their 90s and beyond. So ask yourself, when was the last time you called an old friend just to check in? Or invited someone for coffee? These small acts of connection aren't just good for the soul, they're good for your body and mind too. And remember, it's never too late to build new relationships. Maybe you join a local book club, take up a new hobby, or simply strike up a conversation with someone at the park. Every connection you make is like adding another layer of protection to your health and happiness. So, the next time you meet a friend for coffee or share a laugh with someone, take a moment to appreciate it. You're not just catching up, you're investing in your well-being and creating memories that will sustain you for years to come. But what about independence? What about the little daily victories that remind you you're still in control of your life? Let's talk about the power of cooking for yourself, and how something as ordinary as preparing a meal can be a symbol of freedom and strength. If laughter feeds your soul and connection nourishes your heart, cooking for yourself is a powerful way to maintain your independence and take control of your health. You might think, it's just cooking, what's the big deal? But the truth is, being able to prepare your own meals at 70 is one of the strongest signs that you're still living life on your terms. Cooking isn't just about putting food on the table. It's a dance of coordination, memory, and creativity. Think about it. You walk into the kitchen, open the pantry, and decide what to cook. You stand at the counter, chopping vegetables, stirring a pot, maybe even recreating a family recipe. It takes physical ability, mental sharpness, and a sprinkle of love. More importantly, cooking is a reminder that you're still in control. When you can cook your own meals, you're not just feeding your body, you're sending yourself a message, I've got this. And that's a powerful feeling. Let's go beyond the emotional side for a second. A long-term study out of Sweden found that older adults who cooked their own meals had a 25% lower risk of developing chronic illnesses like heart disease and diabetes. Why? Because home-cooked meals are often more balanced and nutritious. You get to decide what goes on your plate, fresh vegetables, lean proteins, maybe even a little treat at the end. But cooking is about more than health. It's about creativity and connection to the past. Maybe you're making your grandmother's famous stew or whipping up a dish that brings back memories of family gatherings. Every meal is a chance to relive a memory or create a new one. I know someone who used to bake bread every Sunday. She said it wasn't just about eating the bread, it was about the process. Kneading the dough, watching it rise, and smelling it bake in the oven. That simple act became a meditation, a way for her to stay connected to herself. So, if you're still flipping pancakes, tossing salads, or simmering a pot of soup, you're not just cooking. You're proving that independence isn't about age, it's about mindset. Now that we've covered these 6 signs, climbing stairs, recalling yesterday's lunch, balancing on one leg, laughing often, nurturing friendships, and cooking for yourself, what does it all mean? Stick around, because it's time to tie it all together and reveal why these little victories matter more than you might think. So, what do these 6 seemingly simple abilities actually mean? Is it just luck, good genes, or something else entirely? This is where things get interesting, and maybe even a little controversial. You've probably heard people say, getting older is just part of life. You slow down, your body wears out, and there's nothing you can do about it. But is that really true? Here's the twist. Science says that aging doesn't have to mean decline. In fact, many of the so-called inevitable signs of aging are not inevitable at all. They're the result of lifestyle choices, not just time passing. Studies show that your level of physical activity, social engagement, and mental stimulation plays a far bigger role in how you age than your genetics. Think about that for a second. If aging isn't just something that happens to you, if it's something you can influence, doesn't that change everything? Take, for example, the famous Harvard study of adult development, which followed participants for over 80 years. The researchers found that those who maintained strong relationships, stayed physically active, and kept their minds engaged didn't just live longer, they lived better. These people didn't just survive into their 80s and 90s, they thrived, often maintaining their independence and quality of life far beyond what most people expect at that age. Now, here's where things get really controversial. What if our society has been selling us the wrong idea about aging all along? What if slowing down at 70 isn't inevitable, but a choice we've been conditioned to accept? Think about the people you know who seem to defy their age. Maybe it's the 75-year-old neighbor who still runs every morning, or the 80-year-old woman in your book club who remembers every detail from a novel she read years ago. They're not superhuman, they've just refused to let society's expectations define them. So here's the big question. What's stopping you from becoming one of those people? If you're still climbing stairs, laughing, and cooking for yourself, you're already halfway there. But how do you take it to the next level? In the next section, we'll dig even deeper and reveal how small, consistent actions can make all the difference, and we'll confront one of the biggest myths about aging head-on. Here's where things get personal, and where we confront one of the biggest myths about aging: the idea that slowing down is a sign of being careful or wise. Sure, it sounds reasonable at first. You hit 70 and people start telling you to take it easy, don't push yourself too hard. Why bother learning something new at your age? Or the classic, just relax and enjoy your golden years. But here's the twist: taking it easy might be the worst advice you could ever follow. Slowing down doesn't protect you, it accelerates decline. Think about it. Muscles that aren't used shrink. Minds that aren't challenged lose sharpness. Social lives that aren't nurtured disappear. It's not aging itself that robs people of their vitality, it's this culture of retreat, where society subtly tells older adults to fade into the background. Let me tell you a story. I knew a woman named Carol. She was a retired teacher, full of energy at 70. Then, after a minor injury, her family convinced her to take it easy. She stopped going to her yoga class, skipped her weekly book club, and spent most of her time at home. Within a year, her physical strength had noticeably declined. By the next year, her memory wasn't quite as sharp, and her once bubbly personality seemed dimmer. But here's the plot twist. Carol realized what was happening and decided to fight back. She got back into her routines, gentle exercises at first, then more challenging ones. She reconnected with friends, started volunteering, and even took up painting. Within 6 months, the transformation was stunning. She wasn't just back to normal, she was thriving in ways her doctors never expected. Science backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that older adults who engaged in regular physical, mental, and social activities showed significant improvements in strength, balance, and memory, all within just a few months. So here's the real question. Why accept decline when you can still grow, adapt, and thrive? In the next part, we'll tackle the final piece of the puzzle, and trust me, it's one that most people overlook. It's the secret ingredient that ties everything together. And without it, the other victories we've talked about might not last. Here's the final piece of the puzzle, the one that ties everything together. It's not just about what you can physically or mentally do at 70. It's about the mindset that drives it all. Think back to everything we've talked about so far. Climbing stairs, balancing, remembering details, laughing often, staying socially connected, and cooking for yourself. These aren't just random skills, they're reflections of something deeper. They reflect your resilience, your refusal to give up, and your ability to adapt to whatever life throws at you. And here's the kicker. Without the right mindset, none of those victories will last. Let me tell you a story about John, a 72-year-old former carpenter. He was diagnosed with arthritis, and his doctor told him to limit his physical activity. At first, John followed the advice, avoiding stairs and giving up his morning walks. His world got smaller with every passing week. But one day something changed. John decided that he wasn't ready to sit on the sidelines. He started small, walking 1 block at a time. Eventually, he built back his strength and even returned to doing light carpentry work, crafting birdhouses for local schools. He could have chosen to give in to his diagnosis, but he didn't. His mindset, his grit and adaptability brought him back to life. Research proves what John's story shows us. A study from Yale University found that older adults with a positive mindset about aging lived, on average, 7.5 years longer than those with a negative perception of aging. That's more than diet and exercise combined. So here's the challenge. What's your mindset? Do you see aging as an inevitable decline, or an opportunity to keep growing and thriving? When you hit an obstacle, do you accept? Or do you find a way around it? These are the questions that matter most. The truth is, life will keep throwing challenges at you. But if you approach them with curiosity, resilience, and a little humor, there's no telling what you'll accomplish. Now it's time to take action. How can you put all of this into practice starting today? Let's dive into that next. So, how do you take everything we've talked about and turn it into real, lasting change? It's simpler than you think. It all starts with one small step. You don't need a complete life overhaul. What truly makes a difference is consistency. Every little action counts, and the choices you make today will shape how you feel tomorrow. Think of the stairs. Next time you see an elevator, skip it and take the steps. It might feel like a small decision, but each step builds strength in your heart, lungs, and legs. Or try this. While brushing your teeth, lift one foot and balance for 10 seconds. It's not about perfection. It's about building those muscles, testing your coordination, and training your mind to stay focused. And what about your memory? Make it a game. Can you remember what you ate yesterday, or recall a funny story from your past to share with someone? These moments seem trivial, but they're actually powerful exercises for your brain. Keep laughing too. Laughter might seem like just an emotional release, but it's so much more. Every belly laugh lowers your stress, boosts your immune system, and keeps your spirit resilient. Then there's connection. When was the last time you called an old friend just to say hello? Or invited someone for coffee? Those conversations might feel casual, but they're the glue that holds life together. The more connected you are, the stronger and happier you'll feel. Finally, there's cooking. Even the simplest meal is a victory. It's not just about the food, it's about the process, the independence, and the joy of creating something with your own hands. But here's the secret. The hardest part is just starting. Once you take that first step, everything else follows. Don't wait for the right moment. There is no perfect time to reclaim your vitality. The time is now. Every step, every laugh, every meal, and every connection is a victory. You're not just surviving, you're living fully. Age is just a number. What matters is how you live. So tell me, which of these small victories will you embrace today? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, stay curious, stay strong, and keep thriving.